a big goofball. Big complexity.
Oh my God!
We're talking about 0.5% of a deal in this play being $50 million. Like, that math.
He's now at a point where he's trying to get back into the game. He's got a great idea. He's going to pitch this idea to this guy with lots of money who is at this party in Los Altos. He is the guy I need to get back into the game.
So we're doing our very best to try to raise money and awareness for the environment.
That's the central conflict of Glenn and Beth, is about approach to how we should approach these people. I want to shake them up and, frighten them and get them to stop being so complacent.
And I want to make sure that they have all the wine that they need, and it's very well catered, and they buy
write the
knickknacks
checks. And I'm more concerned with all of these people just changing their minds.
And the main thing is we got the Giants-Dodgers game on the TV. It's a pennant race. We're not in the playoffs yet, but we're close. So here you got another element, which is the Giants.
Boy, and Pablo Sandoval is Humpty Dumpty waiting to crack his fat ass.
He's in better shape this year.
He still looks like Frosty the friggin' Snowman.
Frosty the Snowman is white.
If Frosty the Snowman were Venezuelan and wearing a Giants uniform, he'd be Pablo Sandoval.
In many ways, it represents the apex of the American dream, where you can still win the lottery. You come here to make things that go viral, that are inherent in that are necessary, or that seem like they're necessary, that are really addictive, and they're really fun. There's a lot of sports in Silicon Valley in terms of the mentality.
So when you match up what Tony and Dan did, which was this notion of environmental awareness and true concern for the environment, with the same time startup culture, and how do we wed those two things together in a way that we can monetize, right? Which is what these guys are trying to do. Well, I'll do something good that also feeds exactly into their passion of playing games all the time and wanting to win in a competition. And right in the Valley, it is always like that competition of like, who's going to get the venture capital dollars, which startup's going to be picked, and then which one is going to be the winner that's going to get to IPO, which one's going to get bought out by somebody bigger, right? It's that constant game.
I actually had a guy that came in and talked to us.
Amazing.
Who was the founder of TiVo and told us what it's like pitching. And so what it's like being in the room, and that Sand Hill Road in Palo Alto is the center of the world. That's where all the venture capital is. That he's pitched to the guy that took Google, that took Facebook, all of the big modern technological firms we know of, this is where it is.
And then, of course, you write about what you know. So I'm from a nonprofit world where I come into contact regularly with venture capitalists and people who are the very ones that Rick is describing, the guys who drive the Tesla. Roger drives a Tesla, and he has a private plane. I think this area is ripe with people who are trying to live both aspects of the contradiction. And I have to look at myself too, as somebody who wants to live comfortably, wants to believe and think that the world is absolutely fine, and would rather ignore the dire prognostications about what we have to face in the comfort of my living room with this 60-inch screen in HD watching a baseball game.
That's what I love about the way.
Okay, what's the size of your screen?
Not 60, but Tony makes more money than I do. Berkeley rep. So what they did that I think is insane, and kind of brilliant at the same time, is understanding that we all live our lives with some level of terror all the time, right? It's a very dangerous world that we live in. Just being, as Tony said, being alive is dangerous. And we're doing things to this planet that we can choose to ignore or find ways to ignore or that we can deal with. And when we want to deal with it, we're going to feel powerless about that, right? Because like, what is one person going to do
Right.
against
Right.
the monoliths that are moving this thing forward? So what does sports do for people? Sports are, I've been describing it to the actors is think of, sports is like a discrete 3-act play. It's a story with a beginning, middle, and an end that will begin and it will end, and there will be a clear-cut winner or loser. Whereas in life, there are never clear-cut endings to anything.
The ideas have gravity, but it's in this package of absolute delight and hilarity. And with, a group of pretty swell fellas.
What's a major disagreement you guys had so far?
We're having one right now.
Okay.
We're having one right now over
What's the
over
disagreement?
something in the
There's some
back.
conflict and drama here in this.
You can't out
I
that.
gotta put this on videotape.
Yeah, she's got to anchor us. All the testosterone in the play is anchored
Right.
by this wonderful
Just
woman right here.
keep them in line.
Yeah.
Conflict. We'll tell you there is one, but we're not gonna.
Oh my God!
No way.
In our relationships. Yes. Yeah.
No.
Hint.
No.
Here we have this beautiful
Yeah.
display of crickets.
Crickets. Okay.
Cooked two blocks up from the restaurant.
two
At a
blocks up.
restaurant, 2 blocks up.
Okay. Are these organic, free-range crickets or farm grown?
These crickets came from underneath the stove in my kitchen. These are different.
You got some, right?
Every time I see it though, I think poor Jiminy.
Continues to progress, we're going to have a problem with protein in the world. Like when you have the bigger bugs, do you like them out of the
The
exoskeleton?
next source of protein.
Oh, okay, yeah, I'm in. Okay, this is nothing. I come from Chinese like we all like come on.
Really?
I mean, I've had duck brains and
Really?
chicken feet and yeah.
Awesome.
That doesn't make it okay.
What?